The Audio-Technica AT2040 is marketed as a professional broadcast or podcast microphone, and it's fairly affordable for that type of microphone. Now, I've been a professional broadcaster for the last 14 years, maybe a little longer, plus I've done podcasts and other content creation types of things, so I wanted to check this out and hear what it sounds like on my voice. And I know this microphone is intended as more of a vocal microphone for podcasts and broadcasts, but I am going to test it out on acoustic guitar because sometimes we have performers who come in and sometimes we just want to record acoustic and we just use what we have. So I will try that out a little later on. I'm Zane. Welcome to Audio Tech TV. I've included a link down in the description so you can check out more information on the Audio-Technica AT2040 and see the latest pricing. The last time I checked, it was $99, which is very affordable for this type of microphone. This video is sponsored by Sweetwater. They sent over this microphone so I could check it out. And if you need anything for your home studio, head over to Sweetwater. They have all kinds of microphones, audio interfaces, guitars, pretty much anything you could need for your home studio. They have it, and they ship very quickly, even to Canada where I am. It's always super quick, and they even have payment plans if you need that sort of thing. Now, you can see I've been talking into the Audio-Technica AT2040 this whole time. I haven't done any sort of effects on here or anything. What you're hearing is the raw audio, but I am going to have to boost the levels because they are a little low, and I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. So the Audio-Technica AT2040 is a dynamic microphone, so you're not going to need phantom power, but what you will need is a whole lot of gain. These microphones require lots of gain. I don't just mean this microphone, I mean broadcast mics in general. They always require tons of gain. So I have this connected to a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen audio interface because those are pretty much the most popular audio interfaces out there, the Scarlett series, and I wanted to show you what it sounds like in there. But I have the microphone gain on that pretty much cranked all the way. I think it's like a notch back from being full just because there was a little noise in the preamp on there. Now, what I typically do with my dynamic microphones is I put something on there like a cloud lifter or a Fethead or even external mic preamp to get some more gain in there. So that way we can bring those levels up and it'll sound decent. However, I was playing around with this a little bit and I increased the levels on my software and the quality was nice and clean. So even though I had to crank the levels up in the software, it still sounded clean. Now I have this pop filter in front of it. I'm going to take it down and we'll see how this handles plosives. Pizza, pop, pop, filter, pizza, pizza, pop, p, p, p. All right, let's put this back on. Pizza, pop, filter, p, 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 p. There's a bunch of P's for you. And I'm listening to it in the headphones and I did hear a difference there, but most of the time we're not going to be extremely blowing up our P's like that. You'd be talking normally and it probably could handle some of the normal P's, but you should probably get a pop filter in front of it anyway. It does protect the microphone from the moisture of speaking. So one thing with broadcast microphones is they're supposed to reject sounds from the sides and from the rear. So I'm just going to go around to the side here and talk into it. This is what it sounds like from the right side of the microphone. Here I am at the back of the microphone. Sorry about the back of my head, but there you go. And again, here I am at the front. I'll go to this side so you can hear this side. It's pretty much the same as the other side. There you go. That is the mic. And I do have a loud fan that's on my studio lighting. It's pretty loud, and also I have my computer running. That has a fan in it that's fairly loud, and I'm not hearing it in the headphones, so I think it is rejecting some of that kind of noise. So I'm just going to pause for a second to hear what it's picking up. I think I am hearing something in there, but that could be from the preamp noise because I have the preamp cranked so loud. So when I was going to school for radio and working in radio for all of these years, we've always had performers stop by, and in small markets, you only have your broadcast microphones to record them with. So we just would mic up their acoustic guitar and their vocals using a broadcast microphone. So I'm going to grab my acoustic guitar and we'll give this a listen. All right, so usually when we mic up a performer, we have the microphone aimed more at the voice. so the guitar is kind of more in the background. Let's just play this guitar and hear what this sounds like at this level right here. Alright, this is singing and playing guitar into the AT2040 mic. Just listening to it in the headphones, that actually sounds pretty good. It has a nice crisp sound to the acoustic guitar. Yeah, that sounds pretty good for a broadcast microphone. I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm just going to put this away now. All right, so now I just want to test what it sounds like if I were to get right up on this microphone, because broadcasters love to get right on top of the microphone. It gives them that big voice. So let's just hear what that sounds like. So yeah, this is what it sounds like when you're right on top of the microphone. Let's do an announcer break here. You've been listening to the best rock station ever. That was Nickelback. Coming up, we've got Bare Naked Ladies and more Nickelback. If you're Canadian, you understand that joke. So yeah, this is going right up on top of the microphone, which broadcasters love to do. And in my headphones, it does sound really nice. So if I go back to where I would typically talk into the microphone, which is about this distance here, I can tell there's a huge level difference, but if I get right up on it, it has that nice bassy sound to it. And one of the things that I'm noticing with this microphone, it kind of has like a EQ tuning built into it. So if you're new to podcasting or broadcasting and you're not familiar with EQing or anything like that, this has like a built-in EQ that sounds really good on voice. So now let's look at some of the pros and cons of the Audio-Technica AT2040. So one of the pros is what I was just talking about. It has that sort of EQ tuning in there. If you're just new to podcasting and broadcasting and you want a microphone that you can just set up and speak into, this could be that microphone. You're not going to have to worry about really EQing or anything like that. This is going to sound good just like that. And if you get right up on top of the microphone, you may not even need to worry about getting one of those preamps or cloud lifter. It sounds like the levels are pretty good when you're right on top of it. So you could use it in a live situation if you were to get right on top of it like that. Another pro of the AT2040 is I think it sounded pretty good on the acoustic guitar. So if you do plan on having performers come in and do a little acoustic number for you, it should sound all right and capture that quite nicely. And another pro is, of course, the price. $99 for a broadcast microphone of this quality is actually pretty good. This microphone sounds better than some more expensive broadcast microphones that are out there. And my final pro here is not really about how it sounds, it's more about how it looks. It is a decent looking microphone. So if you're using this in like a video podcast, or if you are using it in broadcast and you have video on you, it is a decent looking mic. It's kind of stubby. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it has a really nice look to it. Which brings me now to the negatives, and the biggest negative here, and it's not just this microphone, it's all dynamic microphones, is it does require a lot of gain. So that is the biggest negative. I wouldn't really say it's a deal breaker, because if you get another broadcast microphone, you're going to have the same issues. And another negative might be one of the things I said was a positive. It does sort of have that EQ tuning in there, and if you don't like that EQ tuning, you're kind of stuck with it when you record with this, and you're going to have to adjust things to your liking. So that could be a negative. Other than that, I don't know. This is a decent $99 broadcast microphone. If I was setting up a podcast or even broadcast and this was the microphone that I was given, I wouldn't be upset with it. This is a decent microphone. I've tried some microphones that are a little bit more expensive or even double the price, and they don't sound as good as this. Now check out the review I did of the Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen by clicking the video on the screen, and you can see what that thing's all about. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.